uh, again, the winter in summer. I don't know about the wind. We'll see. This is about economics for sustainability, which is also about what I mentioned. Not wanted to do this. It's about also company for sustainability. It is more than that. I already did some video about that, but anyways, this is starting with the last words, more or less, which is the illusion. Again, everything that the system serves is an illusion, is to be believed and not understood. So, like, there is no reason for anything. You don't need to understand. You just need to believe, accept and obey. I say this is a scheme, and everything in the system is a scheme. In economics, politics, everything is a scheme. Religion is a scheme. Science is a scheme. I mean, there are plenty of schemes, from pharmaceutical, health care, to space. Yeah. Well, let's see. As I said, they have an agenda, and I show you the symbol in the last video, red and blue, which is what they pretend. For now is the opposite, is blue and red, which means the liberalism is an delusion, and the communism is promised land. See, always the same. So they want to create the deception in the blue, which means in the liberal world, it's always delusion. And the prohibited fruit, the red, communism, is the promised land. You see? So they want to serve you communism as the way, so people accept, and then they missed away. So it's always a scheme. And you see, as I said, they prepare people, they fabricate will in every way, from Hollywood to church, or from church to Hollywood. They create always the illusion. Overall, with the TV, and then the smart grid. You know, today the youngest people are more on the smart grid than the TV. But it's the same. It's the agenda. They create the illusion as usually, like freedom, power, will. And so people don't realize that they are being accepted. They are being put in an illusion state. And that is the situation. So the belief state is the illusion state. And that is the world where people live. And so, see, this is really serious. People need to wake up. Now, let's move into the economics. First, as I said, the bank system is a fraud, as everything, of course. And the bank system must be put in a public state system, but that means at the same time must be under social contract, which means everybody must be able to check whatever may be, to see if everything is okay. If there is some problem, point that and put under observation of everybody to get the solution. That is the way. There is no other way. So no more hackers, no more whatever schemes, no more shit. Now, economics overall, you know, there is no need to talk about communism. Doesn't make sense. In communism, there is no such a thing. There is an order. That's it. No economics. There is an order, a power over the people. So, economics. People understand economics around those ideas that the system creates, sustaining the illusion around things like identity, will, power, freedom, and so on. So everything is an illusion. People have no idea what's going on. And so everything is around way which is one way, the power way, the manipulation way, always, the illusion to be served, always. See, that's why you have no place to not only question whatever. There is no place to put a question. Not even, you don't need even to think about demanding whatever solution. No, you live in the illusion that you are served by a representative system. You have no right to do whatever you may think. You may so questions. There is no place to do that, to put a question. So you don't need to think. You don't need to do anything. You just need to trust the system. You see? So this is a scheme. So when they talk about communication, social communication, like papers, newspapers, TV, what is one way? There is no communication. You only have to read, accept, believe, whatever. You see, this is a scheme. So the way is always propaganda, introducing the disease, virus, always try to manipulate, try to force, always, whatever may be the case. You can understand the same thing, like the signs blue and red. It's the same. Propaganda or publicity is the same. So if you think, for instance, on economics around the product, you see, around publicity, which means the product can be a mark, can be a company, economic groups, you see, is the same. It's the scheme. So people all need to think things around the idea of a product which serves the illusion of freedom, choice, and so on, power, and then there is it's too much wind. There is the idea of the freedom that and the will in a way that put people in a zero state, completely in an ignorant state. That's it, in accepting everything, which is the idea of not they don't need to accept, they shouldn't accept limits in terms like if you want, if you can, you do. And so that's why there are, for instance, cars, expensive cars, where people may even working hard all life never would could buy such a car. Never. See, I mean, workers, those that work harder and earn less, it's raining. Now, let's see. I was saying, limits, no limits. So people are led to accept just a power over them. You see, no relation with anything, no reason, nothing, no rational think space, no rational think. There is no question, there is nothing. There is a power over them, and people are led to accept that. You see how people are manipulated? It's the agenda, always. So, let's see, around product. You should understand this. A product can be something that can serve well or not really a person. That can be better or worse. But see, an example, the first lamps in electricity, there is, I already talk about this, there is a fireplace, firefighters place, I'm sorry, where they had one of those lamps that shut down a few years ago. So I don't know, with maybe 100 years or so, always on, always. You see, right now, a lamp can, any light, anything in a house or whatever, can give you, I don't know, 1 year or so. So they do this always because serves them and not your interests. You see, so they want to explore, they want to, manipulate everything. And this is an example. So they don't serve your interests, and not as a human being or a citizen, nor as a consumer. They don't give a shit about that. Everything is to serve them. So, you see, everything is wrong. And then around that, there is the things like the value of work. And not only that, the rights, the respect, the freedom, and so on. See, you know for sure there are plenty, day by day more, of homeless everywhere. And in the last video I told you about the situation here in capital, in Lisbon. The price of houses are madness. It's madness. This situation shows exactly what's going on. It's a madness state. So you see how serious things are. But what really is important is to understand exactly what he is all about and what is at stake. And so what people need to understand to change, everything must change. So people need to realize things like here I see many times an expression in labor, the world, like pointing the worker as collaborate people. So people are led to think that they should collaborate. Like the company is a team. You need to collaborate in order to grow, in order to defend those interests that are their interests too. Always delusion. So people are day by day more and more exploited, day by day earning less. Like you see, with these schemes they prepare, like a crisis, they put people day by day more poor. So then there are many things to understand around sustainability. What is in stake, what people need to understand and defend. Like agendas like lesbian, gay, and so on, which leads people to separate, have no children, whatever may be excuse. The life is expensive and things like that. Or different will, men and women, and so people are more and more separated. And the will in power, people are always lead to desire things that concerns, not concerns that serves them, their ideas, like what they want, what they like. And so many women are different, see, and so they put that kind of things usually in first place. And so family, no family, then no relation. You see how deep things are. So sustainability, you see, you need to understand really what's going on. What is the truth? What is a woman? What is a man? What you need to respect, and so on. So then always remember always the other. In this case, in first place, children. You see, there are many things people need to understand in order to defend what is right. So, sustainability is about care, is about taking care of what should, what is need to be taken care. Like, for instance, family, stability, financial stability. You see, so a company must be putting this, serving this way, this kind of thing. So, and other like freedom, everybody's different. Everybody has its unique way, its unique abilities. And so if people can be using this, they will be immediately satisfied, because they will do what they like. Then freedom has to do with other things, like what kind of contract. For instance, if someone likes a kind of company, they should be able to do its own purpose in order to get the right contract. And company should be able to understand what is really more important for the company, and so see if this or that person show them the best way to work with. And then in those contracts can be different situations. For instance, can be depending on the way the company works. Can be things like the hours. It can be in stake, can be the contract itself, like people can be a kind of partner with some investment, or with some promise which can be taken a sum of money from their wage to accomplish that contract, that situation of participation in the company, and or can be only a simple work for a week, and that's it. So each person has a different situation, and then company should be defended of interests that can be opposite to their interests. And so the investment should never pass something like 25% for someone, because that someone can cause problems. So you see, and then the investors can be simply investors that like that project, and so invest on it. Then the product, the company can be just a organization for service, or can be some company that produces something, and in the way of service, people need to be serving the client. So it's simple. The client is what he is supposed to serve. That is, who pay and who need to be served, well served. The product is the same. Product should be always a challenge to serve well, the best possible. So you see, what really matters is not a brand, is the product. If serves well or not really. So people need to evaluate for themselves. And so instead of publicity, people should create places like places where they expose their products, show the products, explain, and so people start right there to evaluate and maybe to buy, and then, well, the client will be the first place to evaluate and to talk about that to the others. And this makes things in another way also, that is way more stable, which is slower, but slower, not really slower, but it's mainly a slower way, but a stable way of work around economics. You see, on the opposite, this system with publicity, an image, always an illusion, using like models, young, beautiful people, usually to sell their products. And people are led to buy shit because of that. People have no alternative, of course, but you see the difference. So, what is in stake is to serve well, always. So, I think the message is good enough. I hope you like it. Share, and for now, again, keep well. Until next one.